Ready to escape into a world of books and pixels? What is up, YouTube? Today we will be reading Donald Duck's Toy Sailboat from the motion picture Chips Ahoy, which I believe is on Disney Plus. Anyway. There, said Donald Duck. At last it's done. He stood back to look at his toy sailboat. Making it had been a big job. It had taken him all summer long, but now the boat was finished, and it was a beautiful boat. The mantel was just the place for it, too. The whole room looked better with the sailboat up there. Building sailboats is very hungry work, Donald said to himself, so he fixed himself a fine big lunch. Now to try the boat out in the lake, he thought, but his hard work had made him sleepy, too. So Donald settled down for a nap. After that, he would try out the boat. Now outside, Donald's cottage in the old elm tree lived two little chipmunks, Chip and Dale, and they had no lunch at all. I'm hungry, said Chip as he rubbed his empty middle. Tut, that's funny. Me too, said little Dale. Suddenly brightened. Look, he said. Chip looked and looked. At last he spied it. One lone acorn still clinging to the bough of an oak tree beside the lake. Down the elm tree they raced, across to the oak, up its rough bark trunk. Mine, cried Chip, reaching for the nut. I saw it first, Dale cried. So they pushed and tugged, and they tugged and they tussled, until the acorn slipped through their fingers and fell kerplunk into the lake. The two little chipmunks looked mighty sad as they watched the acorn float away. But Dale soon brightened. Look, he cried. Chip looked. On a little island out in the middle of the lake stood a great big oak tree, weighed down with acorns on every side. Down to the shore the chipmunks ran, but brr, it was too cold to swim. How can we get to them? Wondered Chip. I don't know, said Dale. But he soon had an idea. Look in there, he said. On the mantel in Donald Duck's cottage they could see the toy sailboat. Come on, said Dale. So away they raced, straight in the cottage door. They had the sailboat down and almost at the door when Donald stirred in his sleep. Nice day for a sail, he said dreamily as the boat slipped smoothly past his eyes. Soon after, Donald woke up, completely. Now to try out my boat, he cried. Suddenly, something outside the window caught Donald's eye. It was his sailboat, out on the middle of the lake. I'll fix those chipmunks, Donald said. He pulled out his fishing rod and reel, and chose a painted fly. It looked just like a nut. This'll do, Donald grinned. From the pier he cast as far as he could fling the little fishing fly. With a plop it landed beside the toy boat. Look at this, cried Dale. He leaned over the edge of the boat and pulled in the floating fly. Good, a nut, said Chip. We'll toss it in the hold and have it for supper tonight. As soon as it was fast in the hold, Donald pulled the line. He pulled the little boat right inshore. The chipmunks never suspected a thing. They did not even notice Donald pouring water into the cabin of the boat. Chip discovered that when he went into the cabin, man the pumps, he cried. The two chipmunks worked with might and main while Donald watched and laughed. Ha ha! At Donald's chuckle, the chipmunks looked up. So that's the trouble, Dale cried. He pulled out the fishing fly from the hold and flung it at Donald, so then he was soon tangled up in the fishing line. Chip and Dale set sail once more. Before Donald could launch his swift canoe, they had touched at the island shore. As Donald was paddling briskly along, he heard a brisk rat-tat-tat-tat. The oak tree on the island seemed to shiver and shake as its store of acorns rained down. The busy little chipmunks finished dancing on the branches. Then they hauled their harvest on board the sailboat. Oh, well, said Donald, watching from his canoe. At least I know the sailboat will sail. And you can guess what the chipmunks did. They stored their nuts in a hollow tree. And then they took Donald's toy sailboat right back and put it where it belonged. And that's the end of that story. So if y'all want to see videos like this one, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to y'all in the next one.